the scale of the attack on the Yazidis was immense, and I think total. And they were clearly physically targeted, particularly because they were Yazidis. You could see from ISIS's statements prior to the attack and during the attack that they felt the Yazidis did not have a right to exist. They continually referred to them as devil worshippers, which is a historic misunderstanding of the Yazidi religion in the region. They had also, as I said, written a treatise about why they were attacking the Yazidis, setting out and comparing why the Yazidis were treated a certain way, as opposed to, example, Christians inside ISIS-controlled territory who can pay a tax and still live as Christians. Now, I should say that is obviously a theoretical understanding that's contained in this treaties. Christians inside ISIS-controlled territory have a very, very difficult time, and I think would be correctly designated as a persecuted group. But the fact is that you can be Christian and live inside the Islamic State. You cannot be Yazidi and live inside the Islamic State. So what the Commission did was look at the context of the attack itself, the scale of the attack, the clear targeting of the Yazidis, the deliberate and systematic attacks on Yazidi men, women, and children in very concerted ways. The fact that there was clearly a whole mechanism in place, which meant all the Yazidis were funneled in through a system depending primarily on their gender and secondarily on their age. And then the fact that no other groups experience this in the ISIS-controlled territories, no groups experience this in the same way. I think it's also relevant that if you look at the Sinjar region, it's a tremendously large region. There's 400 to 500 villages, if not more, spread out on both sides of a 100-kilometer mountain range. It's a huge area that ISIS attacked, and they came from both inside Syria and from Tel Khamis and from positions inside Iraq. And across that whole territory of Sinjar, ISIS fighters acted completely in concert with each other, where you had people who were hundreds of miles apart, but able to follow an exact, almost a protocol as how those villages were attacked, what happened to people in those villages, the choices that people were forced to make when it came to forced conversion, but also when it came to the women. All the women were then sent to designated primary holding sites inside Sinjar and then secondary holding sites inside Tel Afar and Mosul. So it wasn't an attack that wasn't methodically planned and carried out against the Yazidis in particular. And what they accomplished on the ground was very much in line with what they said they were going to accomplish and what they later celebrated accomplishing.